Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Our next guest and last guest, our final guest, is a chef and entrepreneur. He's a man that carries a diverse background in corporate banking, modeling, and culinary arts. He's here to speak about how he transitioned to the food industry and started his new catering business. Kim's Kitchen. Woo! Sounds good, right? Got a good ring to Kim's Kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kimanie Travoy, welcome to the show.
Pleasure being here.
All right. How'd you come up with the name? It should have been easy, right?
It's super easy because the whole time, my whole experience is just to try to share the love that I have for and the passion that I have for food with the rest of the
Uh-huh.
world.
So how did you make the transition?
So to be honest, there is no actual real transition.
You've been doing it all
I'm
along.
a modern day Renaissance man, jack of all trades. I've been
Uh-huh.
cooking since I was about 10 years old. So that's what 30 years of cooking straight. I started catering when I was about 16 in high school. I would cook and bring it to school. And then just I developed a reputation over the last 2.5 decades of just really bringing people together through my food.
Yeah, but you've been coming across a couple of industries, various industries, right?
Yeah.
Are you in New York? You were born in New York? Give
I
us a
was
little
actually
back.
born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica, but I've lived in New
All
York since
right.
I came
Ma
to.
Bay.
Yeah, you know about Mobie, yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so the accent can turn on and off, but it also inspires a lot of my culinary aspects as well because a lot of what I do is a really Jamaican fusion. So I like to bring those familiar flavors that I consider myself a grandma chef where I cook like a grandma, but
Yeah,
it's a young dark skinned man's body.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So say that and now add some, like you add spice to your food. Now say it with the Jamaican accent.
Yeah, my love put a little love in my things, so the things are just like pepper up and salt and well seasoned.
There you go. Man, do you do the ackee and saltfish and all that stuff?
So funny enough, the very last event that I did, I like I said, I love bridging cultures and I experimenting with food.
Uh-huh.
So I had this idea to do ackee and saltfish, but I wanted to do something new with it. So I decided, why don't I just put that in an empanada and
Yeah.
fry and see what it tastes like? So I made
Ah, yeah.
ackee and
All right.
saltfish empanadas with a nice little homemade ranch dressing.
Uh-huh. There you go. What do you do with the breadfruit?
So funny enough, I love to make fried breadfruit too. What you know about breadfruit? Yes,
I don't know about it. I used to go to Jamaica 3 times a year, sometimes four.
nice. So funny enough, 2 years ago, I catered my own birthday party. I had a joint birthday party with Laurence Bass. She's
Uh,
a Project Runway runner-up,
yeah.
and we had a joint birthday party. And instead of getting a caterer, I was like, why don't I cater my own thing? So I had a bunch of breadfruit, and I wanted to make something with it. And I said, what can I do with this? What can I do with it? So instead of just frying it regular, I turned the breadfruit into nice little crostinis, and I had made oxtail. So I deboned the oxtail, and then I
Uh-oh.
made ragu, and I put the oxtail right on top of my breadfruit crostinis.
Oh, all
Nice
right.
little bite.
All right. What can you do with escovitch fish?
Just made one last weekend when I was in Poconos. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna have you come into the studio and hook all that up. We'll get the tables and everything.
Yeah, yeah. I like trying new things. I like, putting little spins on it. So, like the last time I did escovitch fish, I said, what would this taste like if you added a little bit of ginger into it? So,
Uh,
that's just where my mind goes. Anytime I think about food, I always try to figure out a way to flip it because food should be exciting. Food should feel new. Food should
yeah.
also feel like it's something to talk about as you're eating.
Yeah.
Because think to yourself, some of the best meals that you ever have is when the entire table's quiet and
Yeah.
you talk about it afterwards.
You
You
hear a
know,
little something, but you don't hear any talking.
mhm. But you know it's good. You know it's good.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, I was invited over to a commissioner's home, and they invited a number of people over, and they had the chef come in, and they were cooking. Oh, it was amazing. And I like to eat, but I didn't want to be greedy. But I wanted more, but I just didn't want to ask for it. But
Yeah,
the food
yeah.
was so good. It was a coconut something. Um,
Was
they
it a
they
coconut
mixed
curry?
out. Coconut curry, you said?
Yeah, that's
It
another
could.
really nice
It,
combination.
yeah, it could have been that, but it was so good. I can't find this guy, but I was wondering if you go to homes and do different things for people. You can cook.
Ironically enough, that's one of the ventures that I'm going down now. Is I have a web series that I am going to start filming where it's just going to be called "In the Kitchen with Kim"
Yeah.
or in the fridge with Kim. And the whole purpose of it is I'm going to go to like my friends' homes or someone random's home, and whatever you've got in your fridge, I will have my little satchel of ingredients that I normally would put together with things, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
create a new dish with whatever you've got in your fridge and what
What?
I see as like a nice little pairing.
That's challenging.
Yeah. But
But it
honestly,
can
like
be
you said
done.
earlier, that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself. I like to stay on my toes. And like you said earlier, I'm a guy that wears many hats, but I also
Yeah.
feel like all my hats play into each other. So
Uh,
by day, I consider call it my Clark Kent. I'm a corporate banker. And
you're a
even with my,
VIP. Yeah. You're vice president of a bank,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Look
I'm a
at that.
VP at a global bank.
Uh-huh.
And with my team, I treat my team like how I run my kitchen.
Uh-huh.
I try to be quite on top of everything. Everything is an ingredient that goes into the
Yeah.
larger soup that I'm trying to create with my clients, and vice versa. Here on the catering side of things, I've taken that knowledge and expertise that I've gained on the business world and implemented
Yeah.
into my business itself.
And committee, are you in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in the South Bronx, right across from Harlem on in Mott Haven.
Oh, that'd be great. You can come in, talk about banking, and you can set up something where, watch everybody just. They have something called Save of the Bronx coming up. You should
Okay.
join that
I'd
team
love
too.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely love to, bring you one of those ackee and saltfish empanadas.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, sounds good. Hook up the beef patty, the chicken patties, all that stuff, and have all the food
Oh,
laid out like that, and say, "This is what I do."
yeah, and
But
and
that's
I, and I said
the
it
beef patties
overseas.
are easy though. That's you go
Yeah,
deeper. You go deeper than that.
yeah. I like to keep it on its toes. A little brown stew chicken empanada, like a
Uh,
ackee and saltfish empanada, oxtail empanada, all those kinds of things. Throw them in,
yeah,
throw 'em in something, fry it, and serve it with a nice little dipping sauce.
yeah. So Kim's, I'm salivating all over the place, man. Kim's Kitchen.
Yes,
What
sir.
locate? Where are you located?
So right now, I generally will host these events out of Sobro Garden on Bruckner Boulevard. So
Yeah,
we're part of this South Bronx Renaissance that's happening right now, where we're trying to bring back more community and bring through just so much love and show that there is still a heart that's inside the Bronx where we're going to bring folks in, we're going to feed them, we're going to make sure that you have a presence here because we don't want it to be a situation where the South Bronx is changing, but we still want to have our mark and our imprint on it. And I'm
yeah.
doing my small part to make sure that we are a part of this community as it continues to grow.
I love it. I love it, man. Maybe you can bring down a few of the people that you work with there, and just I keep saying lay that food out. Am I hungry
Yeah,
or what?
yeah, yeah. It's like, you remember Jimmy? Like, you ever been to one of the Jimmy's restaurants back
Yeah,
in the day?
yeah, sure.
That's actually the same gentleman that owns that establishment. So he and I have a very great partnership where, once a month I host a brunch there, and it's a nice four-course tasting menu where, start off with a salad, and then each course there's an option. So there's a soup course, an appetizer course, and a main course. And there are certain dishes that I'm not allowed to take off the menu anymore because they've become kind of staples and synonymous with me. So every now and again I'll walk down the street and someone like, "You're the guy who made that red pea soup."
Well, let us know when you're going to do it so we can come down and be a part of the tasting.
Definitely, I'd love to.
See if we can cover it too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Um, I know you've worked with a number of companies. Who are some of the people that you've partnered with in the past besides the people from Jimmy's?
So funny enough, prior to that, everything was completely independent and on my own.
Uh-huh.
And ironically enough, I consider myself an old school gentleman, and how the opportunity even happened in the first place was, being slightly chivalrous, walking someone home. And we stopped by when we got to the place, and it was just like, oh, we sparked up a very nice, good conversation. And I talked about how I've been independently doing this. And one day he was just like, I want to try your oxtail. I
Yeah.
came back, I brought some of the oxtail that I made, and the bartender in front of him looked at him and was like, mm-hmm.
There you go.
Silence that,
And you take the bone out of it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My oxtail is to the point where it's firm, but you can still pull that bad boy off the bone.
What? Fall
Hmm.
right off the bone. Do you have
Yeah.
any
So
upcoming events happening that we should know about?
Yeah, I'm doing something for Black History Month with one of the local coalitions around the
Uh,
community, and also another one with what is the name of that organization? Greenleaf. I'm doing another one so I'm doing a lot of Black History Month events now, and then I kind of want to take a little bit of a break to figure out exactly what the next phase into it is, because like I mentioned earlier, I want to get a little bit more into the content creation. So yeah, now the world knows that Kim cooks. Kim,
there you go.
now I
And
want to be able to actually just share some of the pieces of wisdom that I find to be helpful in the
beautiful.
kitchen, because I think anybody can be a great chef as
Uh,
long as you put your own personality and put your own spin into it. So that's the next transition of what I want to do as well.
yeah, you got the Kim Cook's bank account ready?
Man, I'm just so excited to see how the world has responded
Uh-huh.
to my food, to my cuisine. And not just
Yeah,
that, I consider it my art. This is my passion. This is where all my creativity comes in, because I'll
yeah,
be in the apartment with my friends and it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I should cook something. I can cook. That's
yeah.
just it's always been me ever since I was a kid, and I don't know how to turn that bad boy off.
Oh man, Kim, thank you so much. The next time you come, make sure you come into the studio with the whole thing, and
I
we'll
got
hook it
you.
up like that, and you can watch everybody.
The silence,
Thank
the
you.
poetic
We,
silence. I appreciate it.
we appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for coming on. All right,
Thanks so much.
and you're always welcome to come back again.
Yes, sir.